By day, she taught children their alphabet. By night, she smuggled Allied soldiers past German patrols. When she was caught, the sentence was clear: death. This is the true story of Louise Thuliez, the teacher who defied an empire. It's 1914. Northern France is under German occupation. Ordinary life has been replaced by fear, suspicion, and constant danger. In the small town of Prose, a quiet schoolteacher named Louise Thuliez continues to greet her students with a smile, teaching reading and arithmetic while the world around her collapses. Most civilians hide, most comply, most survive. But Louise, she chooses a different path. Louise was born in 1881 in a peaceful corner of northern France. She grew up valuing knowledge, compassion, and service. Teaching was her calling. By 1914, she was a devoted schoolteacher, guiding children through lessons while bombs and battles rumbled in the distance. Then, the war arrived at her doorstep. German soldiers occupied northern France. Allied soldiers, British, French, Belgian, found themselves trapped behind enemy lines. Many were captured or killed. Few civilians dared to help. But Louise couldn't stand idly by. She saw soldiers, frightened and hungry, trying to escape. She saw the human cost of occupation, and she decided to act. Louise joined a clandestine network of resistance members. It was dangerous work: German patrols, informants, spies, and strict punishments for even the smallest mistake. Her role was precise and critical. She provided safe houses for soldiers on the run, carried secret messages between networks, guided fugitives through forests, fields, and treacherous paths toward neutral territory. Every step was life-threatening. One wrong move could mean capture, torture, or death. Yet Louise performed her work quietly. By day, she taught children. By night, she was a shepherd for soldiers, leading them through danger with calm nerves and careful planning. For months, her network operated right under the Germans' noses. In 1915, the unthinkable happened. Louise was betrayed. The Germans discovered the full extent of her operations. She was arrested. Her calm, methodical work, a schoolteacher secretly saving lives, was laid bare. The evidence against her was overwhelming. She had helped dozens of Allied soldiers escape. She had undermined German military control. The military tribunal sentenced her to death by firing squad. And there she was, a quiet teacher, standing accused of the gravest crime imaginable, helping strangers survive. The sentence was brutal. The world was about to erase her. But Louise's courage sparked attention far beyond Prose. Newspapers in Europe covered her story. Diplomats intervened. The Spanish government, acting on behalf of Allied interests, lobbied for her life. The world saw what she had done. Not sabotage, not treason, but humanity in the face of tyranny. Her sentence was commuted at the last moment, to life imprisonment with hard labor. She was spared execution, but only barely. Louise was sent to Siegburg prison, and later Holzminden, notorious for its harsh conditions. Life there was brutal. Malnutrition and hunger were constant. Disease ran rampant. Psychological torment and forced labor broke many. Yet Louise survived. She endured unimaginable suffering, holding on to the belief that helping others, even at such cost, was worth it. Other prisoners died. Others surrendered their spirit. But not Louise. Her strength wasn't about brute force. It was about resolve, moral clarity, and unshakable courage. In 1918, the war ended. Louise was released, physically weakened but morally unbroken. France recognized her extraordinary bravery. She received the Legion of Honor. She was awarded the Croix de Guerre. Other nations honored her as well, including Britain. Yet Louise never sought fame. She returned quietly to her classroom, to children who had no idea of the life-or-death decisions their teacher had made. She resumed teaching not as a celebrity, but as a servant to knowledge, community, and humanity. Louise's story is remarkable not because she wielded a weapon, or commanded armies, or gave orders, but because she acted when others looked away. She saved dozens of soldiers' lives, guiding them to freedom. She risked her life, her health, her freedom. She faced death with dignity, knowing that doing the right thing often comes at a cost. Her heroism was invisible, her courage unnoticed by most, her story overshadowed by the grand narratives of generals and battles. Yet history remembers her, and her example speaks to something eternal. Courage does not require uniform, rank, or recognition, only the decision to act. Louise Thuliez died in 1966, aged 85. She lived a life of quiet dignity. She occasionally attended veteran commemorations. She never sought the spotlight, yet her actions changed lives. Her legacy is profound. The soldiers she saved, they lived to fight, to return home, to tell their families. The moral example she set, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. A lesson for the world. True heroism often goes unnoticed, yet it shapes history quietly, profoundly, and irreversibly. In every classroom she returned to, in every life she touched, her courage echoed quietly. Louise Thuliez was just a schoolteacher, yet in a world consumed by fear and war, she became extraordinary. Her story reminds us that ordinary people can change the course of events, that courage is not loud or performative. It is quiet, steadfast, and moral, that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply stand up when others remain silent. History does not always shine a spotlight on heroes like Louise, but her life, her choices, and her resilience remain a testament to what it truly means to be human. She was just schoolteacher, and that was more than enough.